Cheryl A. Bachelder, Dare to Serve, How to Drive Superior Results by Serving Others. Get ready to explore the world of a Dare to Serve leadership as we dive into Cheryl A. Bachelder's book Dare to Serve, How to Drive Superior Results by Serving Others. In this summary, you will discover that servant leadership is the key to driving exceptional results, fostering high-performing team members, and embarking on a successful journey to daring destinations. Learn about Bachelder's experience as CEO of Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen and the transformation that took place in the company as it embraced the principles of passion, listening, planning, coaching, accountability, and humility. Find out how prioritizing relationships with others and maintaining a positive mindset can change the way you lead and create a meaningful impact in your professional life.
Dare to Serve Leadership. Leaders who serve others can deliver exceptional results by creating an environment that encourages high-performing teams. Unlike self-centered spotlight leaders, Dare to Serve leaders collaborate with their coworkers and seek input. They act in their organization's best interests, build their employees' abilities, and inspire them to have the courage to embrace risk. According to the book, the principles that guide how leaders accomplish business strategy will determine the trajectory of results. Dare to Serve leadership is a brave way of leading companies and workers to surprising destinations while putting others first. Instead of demanding attention and affirmation, these leaders shun center stage and share the credit. In contrast, spotlight leaders exhibit an authority-based leadership style that provides all the answers and shows their subordinates the way to go. Spotlight leaders use their power and authority to make others do their bidding and seldom bring the best out in the people who work for them. The book's summary concludes that Dare to Serve leadership fosters high-performing team members because they choose to serve and act with confidence, inspiring their employees to achieve beyond self-serving ambitions while being held accountable for their actions. Dare to Serve leadership. When Cheryl Bachelder took over as CEO of Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, the company was in a dire state. Sales were plummeting, customer satisfaction was at an all-time low, profits were down, and morale was poor. Bachelder and her leadership team knew they needed to make a change. They read books on leadership and decided to adopt a servant leadership mindset, prioritizing service to their people and the company. They defined their purpose as to inspire servant leaders to achieve superior results and identified 6 leadership principles to guide their management. However, the team's opinion of their employees and franchise owners had also deteriorated. To be true servant leaders, they needed to maintain a positive mindset toward their employees and prioritize their interests above their own. The team identified all the constituencies they served, including franchisees, and made a conscious effort to shift their attitudes. They recognized that franchise owners invest a lot of time, money, and effort into their operations and deserved respect, love, and commitment. The team's approach went against industry practice, as franchisor-franchisee relationships are often antagonistic, but they believed that serving their franchise owners would ultimately lead to the best results. The team's dedication to servant leadership paid off, and Popeyes experienced a remarkable turnaround. The benefits of a Dare to Serve leadership style. Dare to Serve leadership style requires commitment. It involves prioritizing relationships with others over being right. According to the author, true humility is crucial for great leaders. When encountering resistance, persuasion is preferred over exerting authority. Resistance should not be interpreted as mistrust, and trust must be earned with every new proposal. Although challenging, adopting this style can lead to several benefits such as improved communication, initiative-taking, quality work, support, and protection. The power of daring leadership. Successful leaders set high-performance goals supported by a solid business case and actionable plans. They create an environment that enables their team to contribute to the best of their abilities. To achieve credibility as a leader, you need to commit resources to reach your goals. Influencing and persuading others is more effective than exercising authority over them. In the book Dare to Serve, Cheryl Bachelder's leadership team illustrates the importance of defining daring destinations as achievable high-performance goals. They presented a four-part plan titled Roadmap to Results, with targets that provided a vision of success that everyone could understand and support. To focus their efforts, the executive group cross-referenced the brand's biggest challenges with the active projects in the company pipeline. Leadership also means being courageous enough to measure and report performance results, to be accountable. The team at Popeyes added metrics to assess the restaurant's experience, such as speed of service, and shared them with franchise owners, team members, and shareholders. This enabled them to target specific improvements and create realistic action plans. To serve people well, leaders need both the courage of the dare and the humility of the leader. Failing to commit the necessary resources to achieve goals can undermine a leader's credibility and hurt team motivation. The Popeyes executives faced this test when they presented a national advertising campaign to franchisees. Although unusual, they committed $6 million to the campaign, which became a turning point for the company when it succeeded, and customer traffic increased. Overall, daring leadership involves setting high-performance goals with a solid business case, creating an environment that enables team members to contribute to the best of their abilities, measuring and reporting performance results, and committing the necessary resources to achieve goals to serve people well. Reaching personal purpose at work. A Gallup study reveals that only 30% of U.S. jobs provide fulfillment at work, resulting in annual losses of up to $550 billion. Leaders can improve engagement by helping employees find meaning and purpose in their work. Employees of Popeyes attend a one-day workshop called Journey to Personal Purpose, where they create personal purpose statements that align with company values and team goals. Sharing personal purpose statements with coworkers builds support, understanding, accountability, and meaning. Finally, before helping others find their purpose at work, one must find their own. 6 Guidelines for Dare to Serve Leaders. Dare to Serve leaders take charge of defining their company's values and aligning their actions with those principles. In the book, Dare to Serve, the author discusses how Popeyes leaders implemented 6 guidelines to guide their behavior. First, they are passionate about their work. When presented with a new restaurant design proposal that franchisees disliked, Popeyes leaders accepted their input and designed a new plan 2 years later that received overwhelming positive feedback. Second, they listen and learn continuously. When faced with a supply chain issue, the leadership team sought input from franchise owners to find out what was going wrong, leading to a solution that everyone was happy with. Third, Popeyes leaders are fact-based and planful and avoid emotional decision-making. They use data to support their choices, like when they generated numbers showing how a promotion increased profits. Fourth, they focus on coaching and developing their employees, with initiatives that include job reviews, team member development plans, one-on-one coaching, and leadership training programs. Fifth, responsible leadership requires holding oneself accountable. In turn, the leaders model that same level of accountability for franchisees. Lastly, humility is a critical value for Dare to Serve leaders as they prioritize the needs of their organization above their own desires. Principles of Dare to Serve leadership. Dare to Serve leadership recognizes the importance of human dignity, personal accountability, and humility. It emphasizes respecting and protecting the dignity of subordinates without considering their rank. Leaders must apply their personal purposes in daily life to impact others meaningfully. Sen Delaney's Accountability Ladder is a useful tool for transitioning from blaming to taking responsibility. Humility is a worthy and ambitious goal for leaders, recognizing their mistakes and showing vulnerability. Leaders should prioritize the needs of their followers over their own and embrace service leadership.
Cheryl A. Bachelder's Dare to Serve offers valuable insights and lessons on how servant leadership can transform an organization's culture, performance, and results. By shifting the focus from oneself to the service of others, leaders can foster an environment that brings out the best in their team members and leads to growth and success. The 6 leadership principles: passion, listening, planning, coaching, accountability, and humility, guide servant leaders in creating a strong foundation for the organization. Moreover, understanding the importance of human dignity, personal responsibility, and humility is crucial for servant leadership to flourish. Embrace the Dare to Serve leadership style, and you will experience the far-reaching benefits that come with putting others first, both in your professional and personal life.